Edmonton's 25-minute flight away, and we would fly to Edmonton for the games. We'd always go the night before the game, so you're always there for the morning meeting and get to the rink for the morning skate. That was always the rules. So we would leave work in the afternoons, late afternoons, evenings here, and go to Edmonton. So we had just arrived at the Westin Hotel, downtown Edmonton, where we always stayed. And we would say, let's meet down in the lounge for a drink. And so the producer would come in from Vancouver, wherever, and our director, and just the team. That was always a nice part of the traveling road show. And Ed wasn't there. It's okay. So I called up and I knocked on his door. I said to see where he was. He opens his door and he says, "Come on in, kid." Well, he was doing his laundry. He had his socks hung up on the shower rod. I said, "We just left Calgary." "Oh, I had to get my clothes." I know, that's why I said, I don't know if you want to tell that one. That's kind of weird, I think. And we had a good, we didn't laugh. We just said, "Oh, geez." We walked in, there's Ed's socks. That's a sight I didn't want to see. Ed, the sidekicks in the broadcast booth. So I was the host down in the studio, but the broadcast booth was Ed's domain, the play-by-play domain. He worked with guys like Scotty Bowman, who did it for a couple of years between coaching jobs. Ed was thrilled about the guys he worked with. He was thrilled. He really was. Don Cherry did it for about a year. Harry Neal, who was very good. And John Garrett lives in Vancouver, former Vancouver Canuck goalie. He was Ed's closest and most common color commentator. They got along really well. Ed really liked working with those guys. That's another thing too I should say about the professional Ed Whalen, is that he cared about who he was working with. He did. He cared about how John was doing and how they were doing together. It wasn't. I've come back to this theme on a number of my points, I guess, is that it wasn't just about Ed. He cared about John Garrett. He liked Scotty Bowman. He liked those guys, and he was proud to be working with them. And he felt good about himself doing that hockey. Yeah, you know what? That's a thing that I've noticed. We talked about the wrestling gave him notoriety, but the hockey gave him a sense of bringing his chest out. He felt proud. He wasn't the first choice to do the Flames on 2 and 7. The team and Molstar was a production arm for Molson's Breweries. Molson's had the rights. Mm-hmm. So they had their own production team. So it was their producers and people like that. They had other people, but our station manager Noel Wagner insisted it be Ed Whalen. So Ed I think that was a big test for him in his career, that he wanted to do it well, was that he wanted to show the people that I was the right choice. And it turned out to be the right choice, because of how well he did for many years as a play-by-play man, how unique he was. When I first heard his voice, I go, "Holy smokes, Don Smart." Oh yeah, this. Remember from Get Smart? Don Adams from Get Smart. Who is this guy? But his voice became synonymous with the Flames. And so I think that's why Ed was so proud of doing the Flames on 2 and 7, was because it wasn't just the Colgate Comedy Hour, like he called wrestling. He had to perform. He had to be good, because he wanted the respect of his peers in sports broadcasting, and he got it. He got it from the Flames on 2 and 7 for the work he did.
Everyone has a story. It's time to tell yours.